Picture this. You just bought the house you always dreamed of. 4 bedrooms, 3-car garage, granite countertops, cul-de-sac, and a good school district. Your mortgage is $3,200 a month, which feels tight but manageable. Your combined household income is $140,000. You're doing fine, right? Now, 6 months later, the AC unit fails. $8,000. The roof has a slow leak. $6,500. Property taxes came in higher than projected. Your HOA fees went up 18%. You're not in financial trouble, but you notice something terrifying. If either of you misses one paycheck, you are 2 weeks away from not making that mortgage payment. Welcome to the McMansion trap. My name is Joey, and on this channel, I want to teach you how to save, invest, use, and grow your money so you can have more freedom and retire earlier without depending on the government. Subscribe to the channel and like this video.
Here's the thing nobody talks about at the housewarming party. 60% of American homeowners, people living in homes valued at $500,000 or more, say they're living paycheck to paycheck. That's not my number. That's from a 2024 Lending Club survey. More than half the people with impressive addresses and nice driveways have almost no financial cushion. And it makes sense when you actually look at the math. The average price of a new single-family home in the US hit $493,000 in 2024, up from $329,000 in 2019, a 50% increase in 5 years. Meanwhile, wages grew about 20% in that same period. The math no longer works the way it used to. But the real trap isn't just the purchase price, it's everything that comes after it. The National Association of Home Builders says you should budget 1% to 2% of your home's value per year for maintenance and repairs. On a $500,000 house, that's $5,000 to $10,000 per year, or $400 to $833 per month in maintenance costs alone. That doesn't count your property taxes, your HOA fees, your homeowner's insurance, your utilities, or your lawn care. And here's the brutal part. Most people budgeting for a home only calculate the mortgage payment. They see $3,200 a month and think, yeah, we can handle that. They don't calculate the full cost of ownership. According to Zillow, the average American homeowner spends an additional $15,405 per year in hidden homeownership costs beyond the mortgage. That's $1,284 extra every single month. A $3,200 mortgage just became a $4,484 monthly housing obligation. But it gets sold as a $3,200 payment. This is exactly how families earning $140,000 a year end up house poor.
Let's run the real numbers on a typical McMansion purchase. A $480,000 home in a suburb of Dallas, Austin, Charlotte, or Phoenix. Real markets where this scenario plays out every single day. Here's the full monthly cost breakdown nobody shows you at closing. Mortgage payment, P&I at 6.8%, $2,828 a month. Property taxes, Texas average 1.8%, $720 a month. Homeowners insurance, $250 a month. HOA fees, common in newer developments, $280 a month. Maintenance reserve, 1.5% of $480 a year, $600 a month. Utilities for 2,600 plus square feet, $380 a month. Lawn care and pest control, $150 a month. Total monthly cost of ownership, $5,208 per month. On a $140,000 household income, your take-home after federal taxes and 401k contributions is roughly $8,800 per month. Your housing alone consumes 59% of your take-home pay. The recommended ceiling is 28%. At $8,800 take-home, that's $2,464 per month max in total housing costs. Your dream home costs more than twice that. Now let's talk opportunity cost, what you gave up by choosing this house.
If instead of a $480,000 home, you had bought a $280,000 home,
The difference in monthly housing costs would be approximately $2,100 per month. That $2,100 invested consistently at 7% annual returns for 25 years becomes $1,650,000. You didn't just overpay for a house. You traded $1,650,000 in future wealth for granite countertops and a 3-car garage. And the down payment story is even worse. That $48,000 down payment, invested at 7% for 30 years, would have been $365,000. Instead, it's sitting frozen in home equity. Not growing, not liquid, accessible only if you refinance or sell. But the deepest trap is this. The average American moves every 8 years. If you sell your McMansion at year 8, you've paid down very little principal and spent enormous sums on interest, taxes, maintenance, and transaction costs. In many scenarios, you walk away financially behind, not ahead. The math is not complicated. It's just not shown to you before you sign. So if the math is this clear, why do intelligent, high-earning people keep falling into the McMansion trap? Because the house is not just a financial decision, it's a social signal. We live in a culture where your zip code is your resume, where the size of your home communicates success, stability, and status. Where showing up to school pickup in a 4-bedroom with a 3-car garage tells your neighbors, and more importantly, tells yourself that you've made it. Behavioral economists call this hedonic adaptation. You buy the bigger house, feel a surge of satisfaction, then rapidly adapt back to baseline. 6 months later, the house just feels like where you live, but the financial obligations remain for the next 30 years. There's also the social comparison trap. When your peer group starts buying $500K homes, a $280K home feels like a step down, even if it's the mathematically superior choice. Nobody photographs their modest but financially brilliant kitchen and posts it on Instagram. And here's the thing the industry doesn't want you to think about. Real estate agents and mortgage lenders have a direct financial incentive to stretch your budget to the maximum. When a bank approves you for $550,000, they're not giving you permission. They're giving you a maximum line of financial damage. Here's the reframe that changes the entire equation. A house is a consumption expense, not an investment. The primary asset inside your home is the financial flexibility you chose not to sacrifice.
So, how do you buy a house without falling into the trap? Step 1. Apply the 25% gross income rule, not the bank's number. Forget what you're approved for. Your all-in monthly housing costs, mortgage, taxes, insurance, HOA, maintenance reserve, should not exceed 25% of your gross monthly income. On a $140,000 household income, $11,667 per month gross, that cap is $2,917 per month. Calculate that number before you ever open a listing. Step 2. Add the true cost of ownership to every listing price. When you see a $450,000 listing, calculate taxes plus insurance plus HOA plus 1.5% maintenance reserve plus utilities. If the total monthly cost exceeds your 25% cap, the house is out of your budget, regardless of what the bank says. Step 3. Calculate the opportunity cost of every dollar tied in the home. Every $100,000 in down payment represents approximately $760,000 in lost compound growth over 30 years at 7%. That's the investment you're foregoing. Make that trade consciously, not accidentally. Step 4. Buy based on financial stability, not social pressure. The two worst reasons to buy a house: because you're supposed to at a certain age, and because everyone in your social circle is doing it. Buy when you have a genuine emergency fund, no high-interest debt, a minimum 10 to 20% down payment, and housing costs will genuinely fit within 25% of gross income. Step 5. Evaluate the buy versus rent math with no ego attached. In many high-cost markets in 2024 to 2026, renting and investing the difference objectively builds more wealth than buying. Run the numbers for your specific market. The answer might surprise you, and it removes the emotional pressure from the decision entirely. The McMansion trap doesn't just take your money, it takes your options. Every dollar locked in excess housing costs is a dollar you can't invest, a flexibility you don't have, and a silent risk you carry for 30 years. The math is brutal, but it's yours to work with. Subscribe to this channel if you want to keep running numbers the real estate industry would rather you didn't see. And watch this next video. We break down the 5 levels of wealth and exactly which one you're standing in right now.